so full of crap. All right. Let's do some algebra. All right. From 8.5, number 2. Is 2c times quantity 7c plus 1. Number 4 is 2jk times quantity 6k plus 3j plus jk. Number 8 is x plus 7 times x minus 7. No, I did not. 8 is quantity 9f minus 7 times quantity g minus 5. Number 10 is negative 1/2 and 3. Number 12 is 0 and 14. Number 14a is 0 feet. Number 14b is 0 and 7.8125. 14c is about 7.8 seconds. What questions y'all have on that lesson? 8 and 14 and every single one of them.
I don't know what I did wrong.
I see. Well, I can't do every single one of them. But I can do 8 and 14. And we'll see. All right. Erase all this pre-calculus off the board, so y'all don't have to have nightmares.
I mean, that's kind of like what we did.
No.
No? The very first part.
No.
At least it seems like it.
No.
It looks like it, but it isn't.
8. 9fg. Minus 45f. Minus 7g. Plus 35. And the instructions say factor the polynomial. So, this is 8. So, what should we do?
Get rid of one of the letters. Or like
What?
parentheses and then put one of the letters in the outside.
Yeah. We're going to split it into 2. Right? What can we factor out of the first 2? Look at the numbers first.
It's 2.
Not 2.
9.
9 we can. And also an F. Except not an F. Which means I copied something down wrong. No, this should have an F. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, just kidding. And an F. I didn't copy anything down wrong. All right? We take a 9F out of the first one. What's left? G. And then what's left on the second one?
Minus 45.
Divided by 9, which is what?
4.
No.
5.
Minus 5. Okay, what about the second one?
7G. Or negative 7G.
We're not taking out a G. There's not a G in this one. So negative 7. So we take a negative 7 out of the first one. What's left? G. Minus 5. We took a negative out. Now what?
We can factor out G.
We can. We factor G minus 5 out of the first one. What's left? The first one. 9F. We take a G minus 5 out of the second one, what's left? Negative 7. All right, what else? 14. Did you try it? Prove it. Okay. You lucked out.
I went to San Antonio, so I didn't have time.
When did you leave?
Sunday. Wait, no. Not Sunday. Friday.
Great. When did you come back?
Sunday night.
Did you have books with you? I mean, could you have taken your books with you? Yes, I'll answer that one for you. Also, Thursday afternoon, Friday, Monday. Don't use that as an excuse. And I'm saying that for you, not for me. You had time. You chose to do other things. That might have been the right choice, it might not have been. But you had time. Don't make that excuse for yourself. Lose that habit ASAP. All right. 14. At a 4th of July celebration, a rocket is launched straight up with an initial velocity of 125 feet per second. The height h of the rocket in feet above the sea is modeled by the formula h equals 125t minus 16t squared, where t is the time in seconds after the rocket is launched. What is the height when the rocket when it returns to the ground? So let me write down our puzzle pieces. Okay. Our formula is h equals 125t minus 16t squared. Right? So, we launch the thing, ends up at the ground, right? So we want to know what is the time at height 0. So what can we do in this prop? What do we need to do here? We're gonna put a 0 for height, right? And then yeah, we are gonna factor it. Okay, so how can we factor that guy? Any numbers? No. All right. Take a t out. 125 minus 16t, right? Now what? Yeah, we can. Oh, yeah. No, we don't add a squared.
Oh, yeah.
It's factored and equal to 0. What can we do now? See, that's why you shouldn't make that excuse. Because if you'd done your homework, you'd be less clueless right now, right? Once it's completely factored and equals 0, we can set each factor equal to 0. So t equals 0. And 125 minus 16t equals 0, right? T equals 0 is already solved. How do we solve the other one? Negative 16t equals negative 125. Now what? My negative 16. So we end up with time is about what? Well, that's not even what it asked on part A. We'll go back to that in a second. They actually we're about to find the answer to part C because we just did it, but it kind of walks us through this process actually on A, B, and C. 7.81 seconds, right? So, going back to look at part A. Part A says, what is the height of the rocket when it returns to the ground? What is the answer to that? At what height is it at the ground? Think about it. 0, and that's why the answer to part A is 0 feet. Great. So it's giving you that. So then let h equal 0 and solve for t for part B. So that's what that is, right? You do, and then you get 0 and this. And then it asks you how many seconds? This. Rounded to the nearest whatever, 10th, 7.8 seconds. So it basically, part A, B, and C walks you through how to solve this problem. How to solve a problem like this. This type of problem is very, you'll see this kind of stuff all the time in physics class or algebra 2 class or pre-calculus class, right? So it's kind of, that's why it steps you through all the processes. All right, let's look at the next lesson. What numbers did we do on this one? 12 through 36 evens. Number 12 is quantity x plus 3 times quantity x plus 4. 14. Number 14 is quantity a minus 4 times quantity a plus 12. 16 is quantity h plus 4 times quantity h plus 11. 18 is quantity x plus 2 times quantity x minus 12. Number 20 is 3, 4. 22 is negative 3, 9. 24 is negative 1, negative 9. 26 is negative 8, 15. 28 is negative 5, 18. What did we go through? 32? 34. 36. Okay. 30 is 12 feet, 6 feet. 32A is let L equal length. Area equals the area of the field. So be L times quantity L minus 45 equals A. 32B is 75 yards by 120 yards. 34 is quantity x plus 3y times quantity x minus 17y. 36 is quantity A plus 13B times quantity A minus 3B. What questions do we have on those? 18. Okay. All right, that's 18. What should we do? Well, on this one, we might want to do one thing first. Yeah, switch it to descending order. We could factor it like this, but we're not used to that. And then, yeah, 2 sets of parentheses sounds great. Now what? X and X. What are the factors of 24? 24 and 1. What else? 12.
6 and 4.
You're missing one. 8 and 3. All right, what do we want to try? Sure. Let's put 6 and 4. That's true. Negative 6 and negative 4. However, what is negative 6 times negative 4? Positive 24. So that doesn't actually work. 12 and 2. 12 times 1 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2. 12 minus 2 is positive 10, so 2 minus 12. So negative 12, positive 2. Follow the nose, follow the mouth, and then it's done. Bruh. All right. Any other questions on this lesson? 22. Kind of. All right. We need to solve for x. So, what should we do?
We would say descending order, but it kind of already is in that. So
Well, kind of almost. There's one issue with it. You're thinking on the right track. Absolutely thinking on the right track. But there's still one thing that we got to move.
oh, the -6.
No, the -6 is fine. We need everything on one side before we can start factoring it, right? And equal to 0, right? Because that's going to be important for later. So we need to move this 27 over. How do we move? Yeah, minus the 27. So then we have x squared minus 6x minus 27 equals 0, right? Now what should we do? Parentheses. X and x. What are the factors of 27?
3 and 9.
That's it, right? Okay, so what do we want to try? 3 and 9. 3 and 1 times 9 is 9. We're trying to get a -6. Can we do it? Yes. What do the signs need to be? 3 plus 9 is 12. And 9 minus 3 is positive 6. -9 plus 3 is -6. Follow our nose and put a plus, follow our mouth and put a minus. Now it is completely factored and equal to 0. What can we do now? What? The pool thing? Yeah, like the last lesson. What do we do? We do. We can set each factor equal to 0. That is absolutely a thing that we can do. Excuse me. So we set x plus 3 equals 0. And x minus 9 equals 0. Now what? Subtract the 3. Add the 9. And x equals -3 and 9. What? Last lesson? No. We're not having a test next week. Okay. Let's do lesson 8-7. We are still factoring trinomials, but this time the a is not equal to 1. So we're going to jump in with some examples. We're going to factor 5x squared plus 13x plus 6. All right, so there's not a 1 here this time. Spooky. Okay. So we start the same way. 2 sets of parentheses. For the first lot, we still want two things to multiply to get this. So what are the factors of 5? 1 and 5, which is great. There's only one option. We love it when there's only one option because we know that this is 1x and 5x. There's no other options. Now for the last lot, we still want two things that multiply to get 6. So what are the factors of 6? 3 and 2 or 6 and 1, right? So what do we want to try?
3 and 2.
Let's try 2 and 3. Okay. 2 times 5 is 10, right? 1 times 3 is 3. We're trying to add or subtract those to get 13. Can we do it? Yes. Plus and plus. Now, we follow our nose and put our plus and put a nose and put a minus. Now, if we had done 3, let me show you this, and 2. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. We're trying to get 13. What would we put here? Minus the 12 plus 15. So follow our nose and put plus and our mouth and put minus. But positive 3 times negative 2 is what? Positive 3 times negative 2 is what? Times.
Oh.
Thank you.
-6.
Thank you. Which is not positive 6. So it doesn't actually work, right? So the order matters on these ones. All right? So there it is. Let's do another one. But this time, we're going to do it like a GCF. So I'm going to let y'all do it first. Like a GCF. Like a guided practice is what I mean to say. 6x squared plus 22x minus 8. Ready, go. Don't think, just do. You have to have the guess part and then the check part. Remember the piece of advice I gave y'all. If you will do GCF first, always, if possible, you end up with smaller numbers, easier to think about. Hmm.
When you're like doing the time, is it times the combination?
Mm-hmm. You need to use pencil on this in these lessons. Or are you using pencil? Yeah. Use a pencil. Because when you guess and check, you're gonna have guess wrong some of the time. Definitely gonna happen. Okay. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, but I different.
Forgot the two next to it because I forgot it.
You what?
Forgot the two next to it.
The numbers are confusing. It's like I'm putting the x over here too. Without the x.
I know what you did. I was trying to figure out what you did.
What did I do?
Just divided everything by two.
Yeah, to get to this line. And then what did I did? Two goes into everything. That's the GCF from all those.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only
It does. Let's do another one. Ten y squared. Minus 35y. Plus 30. All right, what could we do on this problem?
take 5 and like
Take 5 out, yes. We're going to factor out a 5. I'm going to take a 5 out of the first one, what's left? You're dividing.
Yeah, two.
Yeah. 2y squared.
Then 6.
No. Still no.
it's 5.
No, it's not.
It's negative.
Yeah, it is -7.
Another good one.
And then what?
6.
Plus 6. Now what? 2 sets parentheses.
Why? 1y. Because
Y and 2y. Sounds great. Then what?
Find what matches.
it's got the y.
Great. Now what?
6
6
and
and 1, okay. Now what? 6 times 2 is 12. 1 times 1 is 1. We're trying to get -7. Does that work? No. So before we try the other numbers, you should switch the order and make sure that it doesn't work that way, right? So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 6 is 6. Does that work? No. Okay, so now we need to try the other numbers, right? 3 and 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. Does that work? No, so switch it around. And 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. Does that work?
Yes.
Negative and negative. Follow our nose, follow our mouth. Negative 2 times negative 3 is what? Negative 2 times negative 3 is what? 6. It does work. We are finished with this problem. All right, we're going to do the next one as a guided practice. You do it on your own. 2n squared minus n minus 1. Ready, go.
N or N?
What? That's true. There is not a GCF. So you just go straight to parentheses. Is 2y not squared? Yeah, no. So when you factor it out, because y times y is y squared. So once you factor it, it's not squared anymore. I think if that's not what you're talking about, let me know. Parenthesis. 2n and n and 1 and 1, and it better work because that's really the only option.
Hopefully.
1 and
Yeah.
2,
Yeah, that makes more
1,
sense. That makes more
negative, plus, follow our nose, mouth. We did it. Any questions on that one?
Couldn't have been.
Definitely could not have
I
been.
switched, I did.
You switched the sign. So yours would have gotten a positive 1. So you, what'd you do?
N minus 1, and then I did.
Yeah, and then times 2, yes. Times 2 and plus, yes. That's, yeah. As long as all the signs are right, that's the same. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's do another one. Factor each polynomial if possible. If the polynomial cannot be factored using integers, write prime. 4r squared minus r plus 7. So parentheses. 4r, r, 7, 1. 7 times 1 is 7. 4 times 1 is 4. We're trying to get a negative 1. Does it work? No. So what do we need to do? Switch the sides? Sure. So we'll do 1 and actually this one, 7 and 1 only has 7 and 1. So if the number is, I like to leave that where it is. So let's switch these other ones instead. So let's put a 1 here and a 4 here. So 4 times 7 is 28 and 1. There ain't no way that's going to work. What are the other factors of 4? 2 and 2. So 2 and 2. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 1 is 2. Can it work? No. We've tried all the possibilities, every single one of them. So this one is prime. It's not factorable with integers. It's a prime expression.
It's a prime dream. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Just write down what you want.
Oi. Okay. This one's going to be a guided practice. Here we go. 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. Ready to go. It certainly might be. Give it a shot. See what happens. Gemma, I hope your day is going well. You don't have to be around these annoying boys, just probably your annoying brothers. These boys will never know that I call them annoying today. Only on other days. Because I'm not in the room anymore.
I just knew exact.
Oh, and
Knew
if
I
it
was
shows
I did that wrong.
You know how to do it, just do it.
This doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense?
Why are they putting the numbers in front of the letters if it's only supposed to be one side?
What?
Like on the last problem, you put 2R and 4R.
Because in order to get the 2, we have to do 2 times 1. Because 2 times 1 is 2, right?
Hey, let's go. I did that again.
That's fine.
that book, totally.
All right. Your homework. Is on page is. No, just kidding. Page 513. Numbers 10 through 30 evens. And that's it. Goodbye, children. Have a nice life. I'll see you Thursday. Goodbye, Gemma. Hopefully we'll see you Thursday. I don't even remember whether we see you Thursday, but either way, goodbye.